Hello again. My stash is stuffed, so let's get started. At the time of this video, I think Bashiok just confirmed that the patch will be this coming Tuesday, the 21st, not the final Tuesday, the 28th of August, so that's good. So it should be here in a couple days. And hopefully this sort of two-hander will be seen less often. If you do have very good two-handers, I really suggest dumping them, even if you have to take a 50, 60, 70% cut on what you think it's currently worth. I would absolutely recommend dumping them like they're infected with Ebola. They're not going to be, not only is their value going to drop, but they're just, no one's going to buy them, period. Why would you buy nothing from pre-patch is going to be retroactively changed, so you're basically sitting on a completely wasted item in your inventory, forever clinging to the hope that you can somehow salvage it for a little bit of gold. So I would again slash prices on any two-handers you might be holding on to that haven't sold yet. Probably the single most affected gear slot because of the patch that will so drastically be good versus bad, pre-patch versus post. Since these are all pretty much shitty weapons in here, I'm really just looking for things that might be viable for followers or for certain offhand combinations of affixes that would make you think twice about a low weapon DPS. Perfect magic find on the boots with a little bit of dex and vitality, and you do have a bit of defense in the fire and the armor as opposed to like a resist all. But because of the double digits in dex and vitality and the lack of movement speed, I'm not expecting too much from these, but the max gold find or max magic find should at least attach some sort of value to it. Looking at the data mined patch notes, the Paragon levels looks like they won't be touching magic find on gear. They'll just be adding a secondary magic find system where you can gain percent. I'm not sure if that'll be replacing Nephilim Valor, but just from what they've data mined, you could potentially see. It looks like it's just an expansion of the Nephilim Valor idea, but it won't cap it necessarily 5 stacks per se, but a different sort of stacking system, and it looks like it might go much higher. It might not be temporary for every game session. Kind of important to note, I'll try and find the link, but there's a very nice thread in the forums about breakpoints for lifesteal versus life on hit. It's a really common misconception about how from the very beginning people said, oh, life on hit is so much better than lifesteal, but that was back when everyone's DPS was quite low. Now with very decent gear dropping in price, but the extreme gear raising in price, the ability to reach those lifesteal breakpoints where it becomes as good and then better than life on hit is very attainable. So I'll try and put that link under this video because it's a really good idea to keep in mind with items. You can spend easily 5 times the amount on a weapon with life on hit as opposed to life steal. But more times than not, you're going to get more out of the life steal, even with the Inferno reduction. Gold find, but again, you're going to want a socket plus natural gold find for the helm. No one's going to want to buy a gold find helm if it's only got half the potential that it could have for a very cheap price. You've got intellect and a smidge of resistol there. Absolutely nothing. There's a level requirement reduction here, and some natural crit. But it is a two-hander. But we'll take a look and see if we can get any money out of this. A lot of dexterity, but the numbers just can't justify it. Chance to block's too low, but the life percent modifier is nice, the extra armor's decent, but the thorns and the dexterity don't really mash up well. Resist all, and then some wasted affixes, unfortunately. At most, you want to see one of your 6 affixes be one of the paltry thorns, ignores durability, health globes, you know. But to have multiples on the same piece and not have it be 6 affixes to begin with really feels shortchanged. What would be nice is if they sort of built a categorized system of tiers where affixes were in certain tiers, and a 4 affix item had to have a minimum of 2 of the top tier affixes, say primary stats, or, you know, depending upon the gear slot it is, you know, the most important ones. And then it could have 1 from tier 2 and it could have 1 from tier 3, or anything better than that. You know, it could roll up, so to speak. But the chance, every single affix has an equal chance to roll on rares. You have these opportunities where you get 3 or 4 completely wasted affixes. And I'm not talking synergistically, I'm talking just affixes that have no value in and of themselves. Triple competing primaries, a wasted thorns, a wasted poison resist, and then a pretty nice pickup radius. Perfect lifesteal, not much else. I sold a whole bunch of gloves that I bought from someone in trade. He just crafted a whole bunch and he needed some money quick for an auction. And I think I easily got 150 million worth of gloves from him for, what did I end up paying? I think I paid him 62 million is what we worked out in the end. And I'm still in the process of selling them, but I've already made well over 100 million. Just joining different trade channels, advertising them, and then leaving again. And just, you know, quickly flipping a whole bunch of crafted gloves that he didn't have the time or the inclination to try and list on the auction house. So that's absolutely been my best turnover rate so far. Intellect, Vitality, and nice crit. Those 3 alone, this will be able to sell. The problem is the 4th and the 5th affix are completely worthless. But 3 out of 5 ain't bad. This one's an absolute waste though. Same thing here. Very good resistances and some armor, so strong defenses here. The problem with that is someone looking for defensive stats is generally going to have a very high priority on vitality or a life percent modifier, and this has neither. The only type of people I think that are looking for high defensive stats but not vitality, from my experience, is just people trying to game the system with force armor and the 35% life per hit. You want to keep your effective health incredibly high, but your actual health points very low. So that's like one build out of all the classes that I'm aware of. But maybe someone's willing to overlook the lack of vitality here because you've got the second best single resist, nice chunk of resist all, and some armor. Not enough here. The primary stat is just so low, it's almost negligible. This would really need movement speed or magic find to pull it out of the gutter, I think, in place of that health globes. Or push that strength into triple digits, and then you can easily sell it. Okay, good start. We've got 6 affixes plus double sockets. But here you've got triple primary stats, and they're all very low. So even if you're looking at the best, which is intellect, and you double gem intellect, all you've got is intellect and vitality and pickup radius. There's no resist component, there's no other defensive stats for these pants, there's no magic find. So you can get this up to about 135 intellect, and they're still pretty slim pickings for pants. No primary stats here, just a chunk of vitality. So even if you did all 3 sockets and you could just barely get a primary stat into triple digits, then your problem is that the resistances are very low. But we will take a look because we have the opportunity to choose the primary stat. So we'll do 3 searches on the auction house. We'll do some resist all, some vitality, and then we'll do 3 searches for dex, int, and vitality. It's a good starter chest. Really low life component here because you're going to need those sockets to pump up either the strength or the intelligence. And even if you consider the life per second added on to that life modifier, you're still missing any sort of resist component. Strength and dex are competitive here. The lightning resist isn't very sexy, but you do have some magic find. So strength, a little bit of life, and life regen plus magic find, it's enough to probably find a buyer. This guy listing high magic find shields, he's very smartly not choosing to broadcast the fact that their chances to block are horrible, which makes it completely irrelevant to choose a shield over a source, because this one's for intellect and this one is dexterity. So why not choose a quiver with magic find instead of the shield if all you're getting is a 14 chance to block? Like, would you really want a 14 chance to block, or would you want a 14% attack speed? These are the type of kind of identity crisis items that he thinks he's selling them because this is a great stat for this piece, but he's not recognizing that certain classes wouldn't want to use this in place of another piece. Having a low chance to block is negating your choice to use a shield in the first place over your other offhand option.